Good morning, Internet, and welcome to another episode of the Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quartet here on Game Nights. I am your host and your Dungeon Master, Savvy, and it's fucking Saturday morning up in here, baby. We're gonna play some good Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm so excited. This is gonna be, if it works out for everyone, our new time slot moving forward. We're gonna have Saturday morning D&D for you guys. I'm so excited. Yeah, we're gonna be missing Rob for the next few weeks, and obviously the holidays are gonna be weird and everything, but we're gonna be moving into this time slot, preparing to start season 2 of the show. Why are you screaming at me? I'm busy. I don't know what she wants. But yeah, we're gonna do a one-shot today. And I'm excited for it, and I think it's gonna be a good time. But before we get into it, I'm gonna let my friends here introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where you can find them on the internet, and who they are playing today, starting with Sid.
Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters and the Hive socials at Greek Sid. I am here Thursdays through Mondays, mostly playing in games. I do run our game of Monster of the Week on Thursdays, Elegant Creatures. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern, except when my brain is mush, which has been most of the past couple of weeks. And then, my wonderful players like the amazing Wally, run a one-shot for us, and that's great. So, cool times. I guess I'll plug right now. We've got, I'm doing a charity game for Jasper's Game Day tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern over on twitch.tv/ The Bard's Playhouse, which I will put in the chat right now. Playing some Vampire the Masquerade for the first time in fucking forever. So it should be a lot of fun, though. Come check it out. It's for a very good cause. Today, I am playing Giselle. Giselle is a tabaxi sorcerer, for now, / rogue.
Thank you, Sid. Next up is Wally.
Sup, y'all?
Who's here?
It's me. I'm here! You really caught me off guard with that.
You caught me off guard with that.
Well, he caught me off guard, so I just had that knee-jerk fight or flight reaction.
Why'd you pass it forward?
I don't know!
I'm gonna go scream at the cats now.
Aw, don't do that.
Man, talk about Saturday morning PSAs. Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your friendly internet slime. Who is your best
Your
friend?
friendly neighborhood slime is good. I like
that. Yes, I like that. Yes, I'm going with that. Your friendly neighborhood slime, who is feeling very full of love and enjoyment that they are here this Saturday morning playing some D&D with y'all. You can find me on the Twitters and the other socials such as The Hive at WALLE132, like the cute little Disney robot. Today, I am playing Damian, a human monk, is what I'm playing.
Whose art I did manage to get onto the overlay. So everyone can see him.
Yeah, he is such a cutie. He's just a cutie pie.
He's precious. Thank you, Wally. Next up is Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Rachel is both you. That's where I'm here. Twitch. Oh my god, it's so early. My brain does not turn on this early. Sorry. All right, we're gonna try that again. Hi, I'm Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me here on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth, where I haven't streamed recently because I'm playing D&D on the internet with my friends 3 times a week. I'm on LB Hackman's channel on Sundays with some faces you see here. I am on Nerd Emergence YouTube channel on Thursdays, and I'll be here Saturday mornings. And what else was I going to say? Oh, I'm Sereia Vale today. The Water Genasi Circle of Wildfire Druid. Oh my god. All right, I'm awake. It's fine.
She's deep in character.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Rachel. And then finally we have Val.
Hello, everybody. I'm Val. You find the Cries and Crowns. This is my early morning disc jockey voice. You're tuning in live to GGK
It's after
W35.
10. It's not early.
Hi everybody, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crowd on Twitter and Twitch. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. Like you've probably noticed, we've had a slight schedule change. I run 2 games on this channel. One is Ward 47, which will be right after this, this afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern time. You get to spend all day with us here on GGK. So yeah, you can join us for that later today. We're playing Parslings, and then on Mondays now, filling this game's former time slot at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be playing our Red Jenny game, our Dragon Age tabletop role-playing game, Red Jenny. We're doing Dragon Age Crime, which we're getting in on that hot SEO, considering that the new show has just dropped yesterday. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Our game is what the show was inspired off
Yes,
of. That
100%. 100%. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah. So
We're waiting for our check.
I'm waiting for our check.
I'm looking at you, Mercer.
For that unlicensed content that they're using. And yeah. Anyway, that's me tonight. This morning, I'm playing Law, who's an artificer.
Yay.
Did I also say tonight in my intro? I blacked out for a second.
It's
I
tonight
probably said
somewhere.
Tonight. Okay. This morning. I know it's morning.
Workday passes, life molasses, winter time. Baby, it's July.
Are you okay?
Sorry, you said it's tonight somewhere, and then it got
It got extremely
I love it,
Alan
this energy.
Jackson.
It did.
That's just where my brain went.
Marker, it got Alan Jackson in
Got
here.
extremely Alan Jackson in here.
Sid, write that down. Write that down.
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt with just like a big cowboy hat. It's extremely Alan Jackson in here. Are you guys ready to play D&D? I'm really glad we're
Yes.
doing a one-shot today because I don't know that I could carry any serious story. Alrighty. Yeah. That's my little music. Okay, so we're a little while after our finale. It is winter and exams have just passed. Obviously, you guys didn't have to take them on account of saving the whole school. And winter has kicked in. A lot of your friends have already left for winter break, and this is sort of in the lead up for you all getting ready to go home. It is a chilly winter evening. Just days before you're set to leave Strixhaven to journey home for winter break, a light snowfall blankets the campus, and smokestacks rise from the chimney of Bow's End Tavern, where you find yourselves. A comfortable fire roars in the corner as you drink from warm mugs and finally let yourselves relax. A little bit. At the bar sits a few people, a young elven traveler about your age, regaling a few students with stories. Near the fire, a wizened halfling woman sits in a rocking chair, knitting, and by himself, a student, maybe, someone about your age, that I don't know if any of you have seen him before. Wally, you tell me, because this is your introduction time.
I would say this student, has any of you ever participated in have any of you participated in any of the LARPing events or any of the LARP club events?
Law
Willoughby did.
Law
Willoughby
didn't participate, but made equipment for
Okay.
the
Law was like props mastering.
yeah.
All right. If they attended any of the LARP events, you obviously seen like the usuals there, but there was couple of times you saw one character there who was role playing as a Pact of the Blade Warlock, and their character's name was I'm about to expose myself here. Their character's name was
Remember Twitch TOS. Just
oh
saying.
no, I'm doing this. Their character's name was Shade Darkblade. They wore like a long black coat and like this wide like vampire hunter D-like hat, and they had this really long sword with a black blade that looked really well done. Like the entire costume and everything looked amazingly well done. He was in the adventuring party with Rosie's character. That's you probably seen. Thing is, his character was also was like a silent type. They never spoke because of the pact that was made with the blade. They couldn't talk, so you never saw him speak. This is probably why you never heard his voice, but that was him. You probably see him once in a while without the hat. But you see them sitting at this table by themselves. They are wearing the Strixhaven uniform, but it looks really like weathered and tattered up. And they have this very long scarf around their neck that looks like it was probably like, Doctor Who length of a scarf at one point. But the ends of it look torn up, and like there's a lot of battle damage that was done to it. And it's now like long, but not ridiculously long anymore. And you see that on their face, they have a big brown pair of glasses, and what looks like freckles at first are actually dragon scales, where freckles would be on their face. And they are sitting at the table by themselves, and they're holding a glass of, I want to say like, they're drinking some kind of like sugary syrupy drink through a straw, and they're just sipping it really like slowly, kind of like trying to like just keeping their eyes straight ahead, just like looks like they're in deep thought, just going like. And then eventually all the syrupy, sugary, sweet like syrup like disappears. You just hear that loud. And he pulls the straw out of the cup and starts chewing on it as he just looks like he's in deep thought. And as you chew, you see that he has these sharp looking teeth, like jagged teeth that you like see in the picture.
I'll also interject with Law. It's been a while since you've seen Damian.
Okay, we're there right now though. I'd missed whether this was a third person
Yes.
or this is okay. Law comes up like behind I think Law bundled up like big scarf, not used to the cold weather, so wearing like a huge puffy coat right now, and says, "Oh hi, it's you're Edge Dark Lord, right?"
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm as Dark Lord. Shade Dark Edge, actually.
Oh,
Dark Lord
right.
is my
Sorry,
other
I
character
get the names right. Wrong. Hi, Law. I don't know if you remember me from the last event. I brought the big dragon.
Oh, that was you?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Whoa! I wanted to shake the hand of the person that made it because it was just fantastic. It was
thank you.
great. Wow. What are you guys doing here? Isn't everyone like getting ready to go home and stuff?
Well, we slept through most of last week because we didn't have time. We didn't have to do our exams, so we figured we'd come here and get the drink before we all headed out for the winter break, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Is that why we're here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Giselle's just in front of the fire, like itching herself because her winter coat is coming in and it's very uncomfortable. Yes, that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, yeah, same. Same reasons that you're here. I'm here.
You saved the campus too from evil frogman and
You were exempt from finals?
exempt from finals?
Yes.
Well,
Well-
welcome to the club.
Oh,
Wow.
cool. Cool. I can hang out with you guys?
I mean, if you also saved the campus from an
Well-
evil maniacal frogman, then yeah, I mean, you have to hang out with us now.
Well, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I mean, it's the fact that I am exempt from, exams because of weird accidents and situations.
Oh,
I mean, I did. I punched a monster.
Oh.
If that's like up there on the same level as you guys.
I mean,
I'd say
yes.
that's very close to where we are currently at.
Oh, cool.
so.
Okay, cool. Great. I got room over here. Or I can go over to you guys. You know what? Let me go over to you guys. He
We're
stands
cozy by
up.
the fire if you want to come over here.
Oh, okay. I'll bring my chair over to you guys. And he gets up. He takes the chair and he drags it over to the fire. And you hear that loud, like that loud, as he's dragging it across the floor. And I think everyone is just looking at him as he's doing this. Sorry. I'm just gonna bring it right over and hang out.
I'm imagining the Men in Black moment where he takes the table and just
Or like in Pitch Perfect,
yes.
dragging the chair away.
And just sits down at the fire.
You all sit down by the fire, chat a little bit, have a nice drink. Trying to pull up my. They're not like there's a lot of notes that I have. I do have some.
So Damian, you punched a monster. What kind of monster did you punch?
Well, so the monster that I punched was alright. So one time I punched a displacer beast. The thing is, displacer beasts, they're like, really, really amazing creatures. Because did you know displacer
Willoughby
beasts?
has a cloak of one, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the skin of one that he wears.
What? That's fantastic. Wait. Do you guys fought a displacer beast?
No,
No,
but I think we
Willoughby
must
just
have.
wears its skin.
Yeah, we must
I
have
think he
killed
found it
someone
somewhere.
that had killed a displacer beast, but
I think
which
you
by
guys
the
actually-
transitive property means that we killed one.
I guess so.
I
No,
don't
that's
remember
true.
where you found the displacer cloak.
No,
ball.
that-
I think
It was
in
in
where
the
we found
tower.
everything.
We're doing Mage Tower. It was in
Oh,
that.
right, it was in
Oh.
one of the locker rooms.
Well, I fought one of those. I fought a lot of things. I fought a displacer beast. I fought let me just pull up random D&D monsters. He just starts listing off random like monsters that he fought. He will say things like he fought displacer beasts. He fought things like, I don't know, like stuff like CR2 or CR3 level monsters. But like a lot of these monsters, he started listing things that it starts from stuff you've heard, but then it slowly starts translating into things that you've never heard before.
Do I believe them? Or are they just making shit up?
I mean, you can make an inside check.
May I make an insight check, DM?
Sure.
Law is hanging on every word. Law believes Damian implicitly.
Seraia's just like,
That's nice.
18.
she's still tired.
He is 100% telling the truth.
Yeah, completely
Yeah.
sincere.
Yeah, there was like one time, one day I want to fight a dragon. That'll be really cool.
We made friends with the dragon.
We
You
did.
did?
It
That's
was
so
just a-
great.
It was a baby goo dragon, but was
Wait,
there-
and no, don't keep on talking about it. He pulls out like a notebook and he slaps it down on the table, and it looks like a leather-bound notebook, and it looks like it's stuffed full of like notes and other pages that he added in. And he opens it up and he starts flipping through the pages, and you see on every single page there is a hand-painted picture of every single monster that he mentioned, one after another. And then he flips over to an empty page, and then he looks at Sereia like, all right, go.
And she'll start recounting the story of there's like a little goo dragon that came out of the muck at one of the bars on campus.
Yeah.
And how we made friends with it.
And he pulls out a little paint set, and he starts drawing how you're describing it. And
Do you have a monster killing scrapbook?
kill it? No, what? No, this is not killing. This is for research.
Well, you said you punched all those things, so I thought like every time you like punch something into unconsciousness, you like drew a picture of it or something.
Oh, no. Well, okay. So I do hunt monsters, but it's kind of like for, ecology purposes. If certain monsters, overpopulate, right? They can mess up the entire ecosystem. If there's too much of one apex predator, eventually that apex predator will kill other apex predators, and eventually, sometimes it can bleed into, societies where people live, and they can wipe out people, and it gets really dangerous. So I do that. I hunt down big monsters that are dangerous, and I, control the numbers. But what also I do is I just also like researching them. So any new monster I find, I like to draw it in my book and write down notes about it. And he flips to one page. You see like the page that he says about Displacer Beast, and you see a perfectly drawn picture of a Displacer Beast on the page. But it looks like kind of like how like Monster Hunter does it, where it's like these swoopy little images, but it looks like exactly how a Displacer Beast looks. And the notes on the side of it says like stuff like, you gotta punch it twice. Close your eyes. Listen to the footprints. Their dung really smells, and like you see like random little notes that like stuff that he could like reference to in his head for every single one of these monsters that are there on the pages.
I've heard of people that do this. The monster hunters. There was a really famous one. The Gila Movovich was a very popular monster hunter back in Kaladesh.
Oh,
Are we claiming Mila Jovovich? Is that what we're doing
No,
right
Gila Movovich.
I'm sorry, I swap the letters sometimes. Yeah, so but we're claiming her. She's only half Kaladeshi.
I claim her. Her poster is in my room.
Well, that's for certain reasons, but that's fine.
wait, are you
Don't be a pervert.
I can't help who I am, okay?
So,
That's very cool, but I feel like the plot's about to move forward, so let's hold off on the rest of that.
as much as I feel like you guys could just do this for 3 hours.
Yeah.
As you are having this conversation, I'll leave that one for now. A hush falls over the room as seemingly from nowhere, a blast of cold wind extinguishes the fire in the hearth. And you hear bells start to chime as a chill fills the room, but they fade almost as quickly as they came, leaving the pub in silence. But in addition to that blast of cold wind, you hear like something impact the outside of the building, and you look over out the windows of the inn, and they are covered in snow.
How long have we been in here?
Only like an hour. But
I think it's...
I don't
1
I
hour
don't know
and 12 minutes exactly.
Thank you, Sereia. Can I do like a perception check? Like, do I remember the windows like starting to be covered at any point?
I don't think you have to do a check for that. No,
Okay.
there was sort of like a very light dusting of snow outside when you guys got here, but no, this is like snowed in levels of...
Law opens one of the windows.
I don't know if you can.
Really?
Oh.
Make a strength check.
Well, I'm not good at that.
roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know in D&D you only rolled for stuff you're good at.
Yeah, you don't know that rule? You only roll for stuff you're good
Let's
at.
be honest.
Also,
Val literally created this character to only roll when necessary. Everything
That's
else
a
is fucking
5.
automatic.
The pressure on the window is too great.
I'm trying to
You
open
cannot
it.
open
It's
it.
so heavy.
oh boy, I would like to head over to the window and like do like a slow peek out the window to look outside.
The windows are completely covered in snow.
Dang, dang. Okay.
I
Hey,
think we're gonna have to try the door.
the door? You're right. We should try the door. Maybe we can stay inside and wait for it to pass.
That's not really our crew's thing. We're the ones that throw ourselves into shit and get in a
Very
lot
hard.
of trouble because of it.
Hardcore. Just,
Dang.
you know.
You get to decide here, are you a player character or a non-player character, as we like to call ourselves.
Ah, dang, I love
That's our
having
group. We're
I
Giselle
mean,
and the
Damian is
player
in
characters.
Damian is in the LARP club, so.
I really do like having lines. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm a player character. Okay, well, if that's the case, we're gonna go outside and kick some snow drifts. Yeah, snow drifts, or I don't know. Can anyone know how to melt snow?
I have a...
Sereia?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
Oh, well, if you can't, I can do it. And he heads over to the door, and he goes to open the door up. Is there like snow covering the door or anything?
The door opens out, so go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. I lose my strength. But I'm not good at strength.
Nobody in this party is good at
Is
strength.
morning D&D just gonna be everybody whining at me that they don't want to make checks?
It is.
I'll make a strength check. I'm not good at it.
Our strong
Sometimes it
boy
works for
isn't here.
Sereia.
I actually got a 13, so with a -1. So
13. Sereia, are you helping?
Oh, I can give my flash of genius,
help.
too.
oh,
Okay, you don't have to do that to open the door. With Sereia's help,
Okay.
you can push it over the DC. So Sereia and Damian shove the door together, and it pushes open, not all the way, but enough to where you can see outside, and there's this big pile of snow that kind of starts to tumble in a little bit, and you can see the two of you outside. Snow has piled up around the other campus buildings outside, to the point where the doors and windows are covered, probably trapping whoever is in there inside. Heavy layers of snow sort of drape across the buildings outside, and you see a few people who were walking down the paths towards these buildings are standing completely frozen in place.
oh my gosh! It's just like General Frost fruit in that one manga, Two Piece. Because so in the manga Two Piece, there's the people, right? They have the
I
double,
love Two Piece.
right? But it's just
you
like
also read Two Piece?
I do. Oh man,
Okay, we're
it's
going
just-
to have to talk about this
We're
later.
gonna have to talk about that later. But this is
I
really
feel like it
messed
might
up.
be my thing, but it's just a lot of content to consume to sort of get
It is.
caught
You
up.
really had to get in on it like
is.
10
It
years
really
ago.
is. It really is. But this is
I don't know what you
serious.
guys are talking about.
Oh, Sereia, I think you'd love it. Are those people dead?
I don't know.
Hard to say.
Let's go investigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dutch! I left him outside.
What's
Dutch
Wait,
is-
who's Dutch?
Dutch is frozen over.
I whistle to try to get Dutch to come out.
Can you have Dutch make a strength check or athletics or whatever? I don't know if he has a full sheet or not. I should probably know that.
He does, yeah.
Okay.
Strength, you said? Athletics.
Yeah, athletics is good.
Okay. That's a 10. I'll give Dutch my flash of genius then.
Okay.
And make it a 15.
Okay. So the 15, you whistle and you look around and you see new Dutch.
Yeah.
New Dutch. He's like the 5th iteration or something.
This
Dutch
is Dutch 5.0.
You see him
Y'all
kind
haven't
of.
seen all the other iterations. Those have mostly been my own. And I decided I didn't like them.
I've seen some of them. So Dutch is sort of outside, completely encased in ice. But you see, after you whistle for him, some cracks start to form, and then he sort of busts out of it and makes his way over to you.
Yeah, and it's just this big steel orb that just like rolls across the ground. And then as it stops, like a panel pops up, and then like a little like gemstone kind of eye thing sticks out and like looks around.
To answer
You
the
okay,
question
Dutch?
of whether people are awake inside the ice.
Well, we should get people out of there if they're
we
still
should.
around.
There's still a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
As you sort of start to make your way down the road to some of these frozen people, you see movement. A tall, slender, elven woman who you've never seen before. Porcelain white skin, long silver hair, sort of very with very fluid movements is the word I was looking for. Almost like she's dancing. Is sort of making her way down one of these paths towards a few people that seem to be frozen in place, and you see snow and ice like forming under her feet as she moves toward them in this almost like a silent waltz. And she sees you and just kind of very, very lively kind of does a little wave. And
Sereia waves back.
then makes her way towards, continues to make her way towards some of these frozen figures.
DM, can I make a nature check on this thing?
Sure.
Okay. And to figure out what this thing might be. That's a 15.
Okay. I think, based on Damian's particular background, there are some assumptions you can make because you've seen beings who, even if they don't look like her, move like her. She's probably Fae.
Oh dang. Oh dang, oh dang. Okay, guys, I'm going to make a guess here, but that thing might be Fae, like straight up Fae stuff. Like
Awesome.
no, not awesome.
Hey.
I
No,
agree
no,
with
I-
Giselle. Awesome.
Oh no, he looks.
Hello.
He looks.
Miss
up
Frost Lady.
She smiles,
I
kind
just
of
roll with it.
pirouettes toward you, and is sort of looking around, kind of just very blithely, like smiling, and then sort of stops a few feet away at one of these frozen figures and just kind of leans on it a little bit.
Sereia pirouettes into a curtsy and introduces herself.
She just
Hi.
kind of looks at you.
Did you freeze all these people?
She just nods.
Why?
She looks at you, kind of looks around, and then just very quietly and kind of like a sing-song voice. It's what I do.
You freeze people in ice.
More than that.
Permanently or temporarily?
Depends on the person, I suppose. But this will do nicely. My domain could use some expansion.
I just want to say, freezing people in ice is not cool. And he said that with a straight face right there, like.
Law swaggers up. I don't know if you know this, but we're sort of the saviors of this campus, and we've already saved it from like one bad guy in like the last 2 weeks. You probably don't want to try this, you know. This is kind of our turf under our protection.
You can go freeze the bog, though. I hate that place. You want to go freeze over the bog?
Tries to lean very coolly and like Dutch, and then like slips off to the side.
Right. Well, if you want to make it difficult, I suppose we could make it interesting. And she smiles again, kind of mischievously, and starts looking around and kind of very fluidly. She moves like she's dancing. She doesn't stop doing that. And she makes her way a little bit away from you, kind of like she's picking over the people who are frozen. And then her face lights up a little bit as her eyes settle on a familiar figure to you, which she puts a hand on Ghidorah's shoulder. And there is a popping sound as the two of them turn basically into these little orbs of light and fly straight up and out over the horizon. And as your eyes follow them, you see something that was definitely not on the horizon of Strixhaven's campus before, a castle that is made entirely of crystal.
Hey, you bring him back.
Oh, yeah, this is some
No,
crazy
she just
stuff.
stole your boyfriend.
They,
Well, that was your boyfriend?
I mean, we don't really have labels. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
sort of. I don't really know if
They've
that's
been
the case.
seeing each other, though. They like each other a lot. And we also like him. He's our friend. Where'd the castle come from?
Okay, okay. All right, guys.
Was that the Dracula?
No, that's not a Dracula. That's definitely not a Dracula. I would know a Dracula. And also they're called vampires, but well, I mean, you could call them Dracula, call them whatever you want. But look, this is definitely some face. This is definitely some face stuff right here. Okay. He heads up. He walks his way up to this tall elf lady, and what he does is he like.
She ran away.
Oh, she ran away.
She turned into light and took Ghidorah's and flew
went
toward the
that way.
castle.
Okay, so definitely some face stuff. So the way she said, I'm going to expand my territory. Obviously, I don't know why, but oh crap. Okay, let me start at the beginning.
When they get started, hey, Law, could you heat some metal and like unfreeze all the people here real quick?
There's
I
a
can
lot
just
of people. Should we
Make
just?
fire.
I mean, that works too. Probably Sereia is the one you want to ask about heating things up. But there's a lot of people. I think we need to stop this at the source.
Yeah, I
Can't
think
just
it'll be
run around all day. And she just ran away with my maybe I don't know boyfriend. So
Carpet!
Okay, let's go save your boyfriend. No, wait, I'm sorry,
Sereia
maybe
grabs
not
her
boyfriend.
Staff of flames and puts it on the ground. She says,
Ice Castle doesn't stand a chance.
That's so cool.
and like flame in one hand, staff of fire in the other, and she's kind of like lightly giggling.
It didn't occur to me
things.
until right before we started that Sereia was probably going to have a real field day with this one.
Just call this episode Serai's
just
best
let
day
it
ever.
start singing "Let It Burn." Law calls over the carpet. Are we all going to be able to fit on the carpet?
Oh, it's fine.
How many pounds does it hold?
I mean, I'm fine.
Before we start litigating the carpet, I will tell you this. Over campus and sort of extending out into the woods about it is just sort of this swirling snowstorm
Okay.
that if you get up into it flying is probably going to cause some issues.
Oh no, the DM nerfed our carpet. We have to walk. Let's go.
That's right.
And I have to walk.
Damn it.
Yeah, Damian just looks at the sky, goes, "Yep, those are some clouds. We need to walk."
I hate walking.
Okay.
Sereia just produce flame and like shoots it out and just like melts kind of a path in front of them
I
as
love
they're
it.
continuing.
I love
Giselle
it.
tries to jump on top of the snowbanks and do that cat thing of like, you know, like very softly doing it, but like when she gets snow on it, she like kicks her legs like,
Big like that.
Okay. So, you all make your... Wait, Dutch is coming with you, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of
It's
rolling
just
through
a
the
big
snow.
trail of just like rolling through the snow behind us.
Okay, so you make your way through the snow, kind of off campus a little bit. Hi, buddy. Out into the sort of woods that surround this area of campus. Sereia doing her best to melt the snow in front of you and try to keep you guys warm. As you get out into the woods a little bit, it very quickly, the environment around you starts to look different. Y'all have been all over this campus, backwards and forwards and sideways. You very quickly get into a section of the forest that seems unfamiliar to you, which is very odd. It's very quiet out here as well. Every so often you will hear like a bird call, but you don't see any birds. You don't see any movement. It's incredibly still and quiet, and it is freezing cold.
I'm resistant to cold.
I'm not resistant to cold. You see Damian like standing there like shivering because all he has is just his school uniform and scarf. It looks like he, for some reason, was not prepared at all, even for this winter weather that you guys normally were in.
Hey, Damian, do you want a cloak? We have like 3 extras.
Oh,
Bunch of cloaks.
that'd be great if you have a spare one.
Okay.
I sold a few of mine. Do you have extras?
Let's see. What's the last cloak that we got?
That's a good question.
I did not have an extra cloak in my inventory.
I don't either, but I know we had a bunch of them.
Well, there was the robe of stars. That's gone now. The robe of the Archmagi.
I'm wearing that.
There was the displacement cloak, which Willoughby has.
Willoughby's
that.
got that.
Cloak of protection. Cloak
Did
of
you get
protection.
rid of that one too?
No, I'm wearing that right now.
Oh, okay.
And I have the cloak of Elvenkind.
And I have my robe of invisibility, but I am not letting go of that. You have to pry that from my gold dead claws. So
I wouldn't want to take any of your guys stuff. I'm pretty good right now. And he
I mean, I have like a really nice set of like warm clothes. Like I just have these really nice like fine clothes. I'm sure there's a cloak here.
Oh yeah,
Let me see.
like a nice like fur lined.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
And he
He
puts it
smell my
on.
fur. That would be weird.
That would be really weird. That was actually going to be my next question. But thank you
Okay,
for
no, it's
clarifying
not
it.
mine. It's not.
Okay. And he wraps it on. He wraps it around himself, and he looks all bundled up. Oh boy, that is so much better. Yeah,
I can
I
create a bonfire if you guys want to warm up before we continue on.
I'm okay actually, but that's just because of my staff. So if you guys want to warm up, that's fine.
I'm
Well,
okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, we should definitely head onward.
Wait, you have the cantrip create bonfire?
Yes.
You just like create a bonfire every like 10 feet, like as we go. Just like continuously
I
Or
am
is
pretty
looking like a
I heard-
fucking
I saw
Dark
the
Souls
title.
level.
I saw the title and I was like, you know what? We're gonna switch out my cantrips and produce flames and create bonfire and see if those are useful. And already,
Just
Yeah.
every few feet, just create bonfire. Create
So yeah,
bonfire.
Sereia,
you
you
know.
can you can mitigate some of the cold. I'll say it's extremely cold. Even if any of you are familiar with Arcavios in the winter, it doesn't get this cold.
Yes, definitely.
So-
It never, definitely never gets this bad here. And he like brings his hands up to his face and he breathes a bit into his hands. And what you guys notice, if you like are paying attention to it, when he breathes into his hands, you kind of see a little bit of a glow in his palms every time he breathes into his hands. And then he rubs his hands together and he keeps on walking.
You say Sereia doesn't notice.
Sereia doesn't know.
Law doesn't notice either.
Giselle probably notices.
Giselle's like,
Giselle probably does. Sereia and Law don't notice much.
Okay, so you
Oh no, that bird's frozen up there.
no,
So
you.
those are
I
scary.
specifically said you don't see any birds. Pay
the
attention.
squirrel is frozen. Oh no.
No wildlife, no movement. Just the
We continue
occasional
on our
bird
way.
call, but you
I
continue
think
on
I
your way.
just heard the word bird and frozen at some point the last time you were talking. And I
Yeah.
just put those two together.
We're
in my head.
having some listening problems this morning. I'm kidding. That's why we're doing a one shot today. But so you continue to make your way through the frozen forest. I need to get some more coffee. Stop yawning. I'm not used to talking this much in the morning. And you start to hear a faint, from like a few hundred feet away, those of you that have the higher perception start to hear like a faint jingling sound, like of bells. And then through some of the frozen trees, you see a few elves. They look similar to the woman that you spoke to before, that kidnapped your maybe boyfriend. Very tall, pale, either white hair, silver hair. There are a few of them in a like a sleigh, like a sled that's being pulled by a single translucent horse, like a phantom steed. Are any of you familiar? Would any of you be familiar with Eladrin?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't.
Winna is Eladrin.
Okay, so Sereia, yeah, you would probably clock that. They're Eladrin in their winter form.
Hello.
Hello there. You call out and you see the elf that is sitting at the front, sort of pull up on the reins of this phantom steed, and there's 6 of them total. They all look over toward you. You can see them. I think the elf in the front sort of look towards the others and say something. I don't think you can hear what they're saying. But they stop the sled that they're in and disembark, and they kind of warily make their way towards you. They don't get very close. But the one in the front that is sort of the tallest of them kind of looks at you. This really wary look on their face. Hello.
Hi.
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 I guess welcome, because we've never seen anything like this here before, so you must be new to town.
Yes.
Cool.
Are you with the other dancing lady that froze our school?
There are a couple of elves in the group. I think you just see their shoulders like slump. Technically speaking, yes. I wasn't aware that the queen had already made an appearance.
Oh, so she's your queen.
Well,
She took our friend.
And went to the castle over there.
one of the ones in the back pipes up. Star, that means she's speeding up her timeline. Yeah. Apologies. My name is Star,
Hi, Star.
Hello.
and yes, Keone is our queen, though we didn't ask for her to be. This is your home?
Yes.
Well, it's our school. Yeah.
I see. Star kind of thinks for a moment, looks toward the others, and the same one that piped up before says, they might be able to help.
We're good at helping.
Yeah,
We're very good at helping.
they saved the whole entire campus. They're kind of big deals. And he nudges Law.
That we are. We're very big deals.
I see. Well, perhaps something can be done. I tell you what. You're trying to get to the palace, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's where she took our friend.
It's going to take days for you to get there on foot.
But it's right there.
Well, it looks like it's right there. Keone is tricky, I think is the best word for it. But if you can help us with something, we have a friend who can get you there. You're going to need to get there before tomorrow.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
happens
Consider our
tomorrow?
services offered for assistance.
Keone is, well, how familiar are you with the courts of the Fae?
I'm really familiar with it.
Assume not at all for the rest of us.
Keone was part of the Winter Court. She's an exile.
I mean, all this would make sense. Okay.
No one knows why she was exiled, but the Queen of Air and Darkness is not her biggest fan. She left, and she did what people like her do. She built herself a castle and crowned herself a queen.
You wouldn't know exactly how she came here, do you? From her exile.
No. Every winter she travels. Finds a new place, makes it her own. She will take your school into her domain. If a night passes with it frozen, I'm afraid it will remain frozen.
Well, we gotta stop her then, guys. Everybody here's gonna get frozen.
I'm totally on board. All right, what do we need to do?
A friend of ours is trapped, cursed. If you can help us free him, he can take you where you need to go.
Sure. Okay.
If there's one thing that we're good at, it's melting stuff.
Good. That'll help. This way.
Sereia, it's your day.
And, Star and... No, get off my phone.
I heard that.
Star and the detective.
And the detective. Please don't chew on a book. It's not for eating. Star and the rest of the Eldrin lead you a... Hi.
I'm sorry, I'm cold.
Lead you a little ways farther into the forest. Okay. You come upon a little while later. It doesn't take you very long to get there, but you come upon again an unfamiliar part of the forest to you, a large like barn or like stable of some sort that is partially buried in the snow. It looks like the elves have been trying to dig out the front entrance of it, essentially, but are sort of having a tough time.
So is your friend stuck in here from all the snow?
Yes.
Oh,
Looks like I'm up.
You got
Do
it.
your thing, girl.
you got this, Sereia.
Is your friend stuck in there, like near the door?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Just
Blast
so
it.
she blasts this door that it's not going to.
Oh wait, is this any of your property? I don't want to damage property without permission of the owner.
The owner hasn't been seen for decades, and we're not entirely sure he's coming back.
Good enough for me.
And she will all of these fire things. Which one do we choose? We'll just do it's just snow and a door, so we'll do burning hands.
Okay. How much damage?
That's 11
Okay.
fire damage.
Yeah, especially because it's magical fire. Sereia, you melt through a good chunk of the snow in front of this door. The door sort of it doesn't go up in flames because it's extremely wet, but it does smoke a little bit as the fire hits it. But between that and the other ones of you, and there's 6 elves with you, they're able to kind of push open the door and let you into a large stable. Inside this stable are 8 very large, like luxurious stalls for horses, but much bigger. 7 of them are empty, but in the back, one of them you can see has these like large, like ice crystals jutting out of it, and Star says, "He's back here," and makes their way with another one of the elves, the other one that had been speaking to you a little bit, back toward that final stall. And you can see behind this like crystalline ice, there's essentially like a big wall of it, and behind it is one extremely large silver-coated reindeer.
Damian like slowly walks up to it, like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. What's wrong with it?
The reindeer from behind the wall of ice stands and sort of cocks its head, and then it says to you, "Oh, good. You found help."
You can talk.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
What's
Hello.
your name?
Comet.
Hi, Comet.
Nice to meet you, Comet.
Hello. Are you here to free me?
Yes. And he pulls out his notebook and starts sketching Comet.
We're going to free you as long as you promise that you're not some sort of evil reindeer. I have heard those existed and they kill grandmas.
No, I am not some sort of evil reindeer who kills grandmas. I am
Okay.
a servant of the Winter Fae.
Because you have to tell us if you are, otherwise it's entrapment.
Right.
You really did not listen in our classes about Kaladeshilo, did you?
No,
I mean,
I really
it's kind of
didn't.
a misnomer that is your name, because you really don't know that much about it.
You said you're a servant of the Winter Fae, so you know the lady that's the queen.
Yes, the False Queen.
Well, considering
enough
you're
for
calling her
me.
the false queen, I think that's good.
Sereia will produce flame and use it to attack this wall of ice just to gauge how much damage something that small will do to whether or not she needs to use something bigger. So attack roll.
It's a big wall. I don't think you have to roll to hit it.
Well, you know.
But yeah, it could
Does
be
a
a crit.
24 hit the wall?
It does.
That's 10 fire damage.
Okay. You toss the mote of flame at the wall. You can see like a little bit of like condensation form on the outside, but it is, if you're gonna go this route, it is gonna take quite a bit of fire. It's pretty darn magical ice.
Okay, I'm gonna try something here. And
Have at it. I'm gonna
he
reassess our situation.
he looks at all this, look at the wall of ice, and he takes in a deep breath, and he just breathes fire right out of it. Like you see fire just shoot out of his mouth as like a dragon's flame would come out of his mouth, and it hits the wall, and he just launches this continuous flame to see how much of the ice he can melt.
Okay. How much damage does Dragon's
That
Breath do?
does 2d6 damage.
Okay.
That is 3 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yeah. Again, in another spot, you see like a little bit of sheen on the ice as some condensation forms, but not a big dent.
And he sits down.
It was fucking cool though.
Okay, I don't got it in me.
Can I gauge whether this is some type of magic I might be able to dispel?
Please, as I'm reading Dispel Magic.
You can certainly try.
To dispel it or to find out whether it's something I can dispel?
You're pretty sure it's magical at this point.
Okay.
Damian just breathed fire at it, and it was like, it's a little wet.
And it was
in
like
here.
meh. Yeah, I'll try that. Sereia, to maybe save Sereia a spell slot, because her spells will probably be more useful.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna have to roll. It's with your, just with your spellcasting ability.
Yes, yeah. So I think Law brings out takes like a couple of these like stakes from their bag and like hammers them in around the edge of the ice that we're trying to melt. Tries to puts up these pylons and then is gonna roll intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. That's only a 7. I could get that to a 12, but I don't think that would do anything.
Considering the DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah. I'm going to have to construct additional pylons. That was not enough.
One of the elves sort of pipes up from the back, that same elf that keeps interjecting. Star? What about the, Star kind of shakes their head. Bauble, it's just a fairy tale. It's not. I've seen it.
Well, what is it? I mean, it could help, right?
Star, sighs. It's a blade. And Bauble pipes up again. A really cool one.
Like, how cool?
In our realm, there's a metal known as harmonite. Allegedly, Keone had it destroyed, any weapons that were made with it. But there's one left. You'll have to get past the lake, Guardian, but I'm positive it's still there.
All right. Where's the lake?
Yes, point us in that direction now.
Comet kind of sits back down behind the ice. I certainly hope it's still there. And Bauble grins and takes off out of the barn. As Star sort of, this is a waste of time.
We
It's
follow Bobble.
I'm gonna follow Bobble.
you need to believe, and if you don't believe, then the power of candle nights cannot flow through you to make holiday miracles happen.
Please excuse them. It's early, you know. It's
Star just kind of shakes their head. All right. When we get there, and it's not there, we'll have to try something else to get Comet out.
I'm gonna believe it's there. Don't worry. So, and if I believe that it's there, then I know it's gonna be there.
You all believe it's there.
Clap
Bobble,
your hands if you believe.
Bobble leads you to a clearing in the woods, not far from where you were before, and you can see again everything is very still and frozen, but the ice here sort of shimmers like crystals, and you feel yourselves as you walk through. There's this like, I don't know, there's kind of an aura over this area of the forest, almost like it is well, Law, you would know what this feels like because you have blink. You can blink in and out. It's that same kind of feeling of like being in between. Law's still here.
Even
No.
though I experienced it so briefly. I remember
So
what
briefly.
that was like.
It's that feeling of like being in between spaces, like in a liminal space. As you make your way into this clearing, you see, again, completely unfamiliar to you, a small lake. It's about 100 feet across. And in the center of it, you see this, again, this like faint glimmer or like shimmering of something stuck in the ice.
Has this lake always been here, guys?
I've explored a lot of the forest and I don't remember it.
Yeah, because I really don't remember this lake here. Yeah, just like you, I've explored a lot of this place. Well, let's go out and. God,
I'm
what
pretty
is
sure I've
out
seen
there?
this lake before.
Bob just kind of looks up at Star. Told you.
Okay.
Giselle throws up her invisibility hood.
Where's the guardian?
You say this, and as you all approach the lake, you can see this large, like bluish black shadow that's sort of moving around underneath the ice.
Looks pretty big down there.
Are you gonna try to sneak over and steal the sword, Giselle?
You hear from around you, well, yes, of course, if I can. And then you feel a flick at the back of your head.
You can try to creep
Your friend
over
could
the
turn
ice.
invisible?
Yes!
Yeah,
of
she has a
course.
cloak for that.
Yeah, she'll try to creep over the ice.
Leave a cloak for everything.
Giselle, make me an acrobatics check.
Okay. 12 plus 3, 15.
Okay. You start to creep along the ice. It's a little bit thinner than it looks, and in a couple of places where you step, it's these little like hairline cracks start to form that you very carefully creep over. Stop biting my toes!
Sorry, okay?
The lake guardian.
Cat
Nomming
is
on your toes.
driving me up the freaking wall. She likes to chew on toes. I don't know why, but you very carefully creep over as a couple of times you see this large shadow sort of snake beneath the ice. It doesn't seem to have noticed your presence. But you make it over to the center of the lake, and sticking out of it, there is the hilt of a sword.
Tries to very carefully, stealthily, perhaps sleight of handy, pull it out carefully.
Okay, I need you to make a strength check.
Oh shit. It's
This sword is
always
stuck
going
here
to come
forever.
down
We're
to
gonna be here for
this.
a while. We're gonna be here for a while, folks.
All right. Which, you know what? Wally, it's time for the purple dice to redeem itself.
Yes.
I haven't had time to cleanse it in the full moon yet, but because it was killing me last time. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
Natural 20 motherfuckers.
It's back.
It's
After
back.
its
Wow. Do you-
Sid, we need a clip of Sid cackling and
Yes.
grabbing onto
Incredible.
the camera.
We need that clip. The feral
like a
cackling
mad
carrot.
scientist.
I can't believe that just fucking happened.
That is
Hey,
so great.
So-
the dice wanted redemption.
Does Giselle have a strength modifier?
Yes, it's -1, so it's but still, it was a natural
is
20. I
just
can't believe
enough.
That fucking happened.
The DC was 17. So it's enough regardless. So yeah, Giselle, with all of your might, you slide this big sword. Big sword. Very big sword. Great sword. With a large sort of like blackish blue blade. Out of the ice, you all just see a sword float out of the ice. Giselle's invisible. And Giselle, as you kind of swing it down a little bit because it's heavy, as it moves through the air, it almost sounds like it's humming. It's like a pitch perfect note that it hums as it moves through the air. And the ice where the sword was cracks, and a piece of it falls away. And then close to you, about 15 feet away, another crack forms in the ice. And then bursting through is this huge blue head of a serpent, which lets out a big roar, sort of locks onto you, and then very quickly slithers back down underneath the ice and makes its way directly beneath your feet.
May I use this feline agility to bolt as 90 feet as fast as possible?
You can. I need you to make an acrobatics check. This one with disadvantage because you're sprinting.
Okay. Purple, we're doing it again. And we'll do this one because it's fun. Not good! Come on. That's a 4 on the die. Plus 3 is a 7.
Okay. Giselle, you run across the ice, which is very quickly cracking under your feet. And you all see Giselle become visible midair as the ice underneath you, Giselle, cracks, and this serpent blasts through, throwing you up into the air, the hood sort of falling off. You all see Giselle flying through the air, with the head of a large water serpent underneath her. I think we should go ahead and take our break
Oh no!
before it gets too real. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us so far this morning. We will be back in just a brief few minutes, so go make some coffee, have a croissant. I don't know what people do in the mornings.
Shit.
Have a bagel.
The bagel.
I'm eating pomegranate seeds.
Better than me.
Beignet.
I'm eating chocolate.
I'm gonna go make some more coffee. Come back,
Right, nothing.
join us here in just a few minutes to see whether or not Giselle gets eated.
Will we save the cat?
Who knows? We'll find out soon. We'll be right back. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us during our break. We are refreshed and ready to continue as Giselle is flung into the air by a large lake serpent. There was talk big fluffy tail. There was talk of some reactions.
Yes.
Would I have time to do a bonus action?
Depends on what it is, I think.
I would like to Misty Step 30 feet to my friends.
Yeah, you could do that.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that instead.
Nice.
It's a good one.
Okay.
This cat is attacking the mic. I'm so sorry.
No.
Link!
Again?
So yeah, you misty step out of the jaws of the serpent. Giselle pops out of existence, and then back into existence. You're still a little ways above the ground, but you're closer to it. So, Giselle, you fall the rest of the way. You're gonna take a little bit of damage.
Okay.
Well, that's 8.
Oof. Okay.
Bludgeoning damage as your knees kind of buckle underneath you as you hit the edge of the ice, and the serpent sort of lets out this loud growl and then back underneath the ice, and you can see the large shadow moving very quickly towards you all.
Damian already has his notebook out, and he's just sitting there, eyes wide, just sketching feverishly in his books, like,
Who can use this? Who can use this? Who can use this? It's really heavy. It's really heavy. It's really heavy.
Is it magical? Because I can if it is.
I
Yes.
think so. It sounded like it was singing.
Is it required attunement?
No.
All right. I'll
Take
take.
it, please. Take it.
Would you say this monster is something I can see within range of 30 feet yet?
Yeah, it's zooming. It's underneath the ice, but you can see where it is.
I would like to cast Charm Monster.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What's this? What's this?
No one asked you here,
It's
Kool-Aid Man.
It's a Wisdom saving throw, and it does so
Okay.
with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. Are we actively fighting it yet?
I don't.
We are.
Nobody's made any attacks against
No,
it. but I
nobody's
could
tried
see
to-
that we stole from it, so I could see the argument that
nah,
it might
that's
get
alright.
advantage. Okay.
Okay. Oh boy. 15.
That meets.
Okay, so it just saves. So you see some cracks form. Let's see,
That
because
would
it
have been really
needs-
cool. It was a good
So
idea. It was
it's
a really good idea.
some more cracks form in the ice as the head sort of bursts through, making another hole, and it sort of snakes down Sereia, and it looks at you for a second, and you can see just for a brief moment the magic kind of wash over it, and it kind of cocks its head, and then the spell sort of fizzles and fades, and it cocks its head the other way, and then back underneath the water. He recognizes a powerful being.
Do we want to run? Maybe
Back
we run.
away slowly from the
Still
ice
standing there,
lake.
sketching, just waiting for it to come back out. He's like,
Mom
maybe
arms
if we can wait.
Damian,
No,
like,
no,
starts
I want-
pushing them backward on the ice.
I want to try it.
Bobble is like watching this all, like eyes wide, like, whoa.
Are we sure we don't want to fight that? It looks pretty cool. I could probably use it to make something pretty cool.
We have priorities. We have to go save Comet. And then we have to go save your maybe boyfriend, remember?
Right, we gotta
that's
save your
right.
boyfriend. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is the night. Maybe this is the night that you kind of like have that revelation of like, oh man, I could have a possibility of losing you.
Now that you
Maybe-
said that it's not going to happen, it's going to feel forced.
Oh. Well, maybe.
You jinxed it. You jinxed it, Damian. You
I'm-
jinxed it, Edge Dark Lord.
I'm sorry. Man. Well, you know, maybe.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
So you know
Waltz
what?
takes
You know
the
what?
sword and is walking
How about
away.
this? If you take too long, they're going to break up with you, even though you aren't technically a boyfriend yet. You know.
I'm going. I'm walking. I'm walking this way. You can't.
Okay, maybe you
I'm
should
going
walk faster.
Sereia
Yeah, more
is skipping
faster.
along behind Law.
I'm
Humming
expecting
about,
the sword
Maybe you
to.
should define the relationship.
as she's like skipping along.
Giselle
behind Law.
Giselle just leans into Damian. Here's something you should learn about law. I've known them for a very long time now. We're kind of, you know, like pretty bestie friends. Reverse psychology.
Oh, got it. Wink. And
Does Damian say wink out loud?
yes. Yes.
I love him. I hope he never changes.
Wait, question is how deep is the snow, by the way?
Deep.
Damian is not falling through the snow. Because monks can walk on water.
Oh yeah, Damian can walk across the snow.
Just
Oh, would have been a great
Legolas.
time for me to have
What an
prepared
asshole.
water walk.
I don't want to get snow in my shoes. You get your socks wet?
I'm just
You gotta
continuing to have
teach me that.
Dutch roll ahead of us to flatten down the snow.
Okay. Well, you're going back the way you came, so
Oh, that's right.
There's already a clear cut path.
yeah. Between
Hey.
that and all of Sereia's many fire spells,
all of
all
campfires.
all of the campfires.
There's just a big
all the bonfires.
pile being pushed forward, and then just like big blips where the fire just.
What's this
appeared.
sword do?
Ooh.
Ooh, do you want to identify it?
Yeah, I identify it.
Okay. This is the Harmonite blade. It is a +1 magical greatsword. Things you would know about this. So it is inherently magical. It is also inherently tied to the realm of winter. So the blade is made of unbreakable harmonite, and it cannot be broken while within the plane of winter, or the realm of winter. You're not really on a different plane necessarily. So within the realm, it's unbreakable. If you take it outside of the realm of winter, the blade will melt. So it has to live here. And as it swings through the air, again, it hums this like almost like pitch perfect note, like it's singing. And then
You should sing in harmony with it and see if that makes it stronger.
Oh, I can't
You know,
sing.
like maybe like a third. Well, I'll find this
I
for you.
can.
He did.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're little flat, little flat.
No,
No, that's like 2 notes down. You didn't even
Okay.
go up. You went
Oh.
down.
Hmm.
For every one of you that hums along with the sword, it starts to glow. A little bit brighter.
I was just making a goof, but
and then
that's
a little bit brighter. And then a little bit brighter. Because got secret in big letters next to it, which is very funny to me. This magical weapon, for every character within 60 feet that sings or plays music in harmony, it gains an additional +1 to attack and an additional damage dice.
Oh my god. This is a
That was a straight goof. Amazing.
Sereia.
I knew
you're a
you guys would
genius.
find it.
Wait, I was finding your.
It puts a hand on Giselle's shoulder. Giselle, reverse psychology. Wink.
Okay, so when we go fight her,
I'm so fucking proud of you guys right now.
everyone needs to sing.
Okay.
That includes you, Dutch.
I don't know if my wildfire spirit can sing.
Do they have vocal cords?
I don't think so. I think they just throw fire.
Oh, okay.
Val, I've sent you the secret ability
Oh my
that
god.
only you know about on Discord. Should you
Okay.
choose to use it, is there for you.
Yes.
So excited.
Yeah,
for
so
this.
it's an additional +1 and an additional damage die for each character within 60 feet that sings or plays music in harmony. And then there's something else.
So we're never leaving the land of winter because the
staying
sword
here
is
forever.
so cool.
It lives here.
Singing sword. Singing sword.
Singing songs.
Law's sort of bouncing, like checking the weight of it. I think has taken like a small device and like attached it to the hilt so that they can swing it like they did the hammer, and just like to themselves, just like pats their side where there's like a little device like hooked to their hip and says, "I'll use you next time, I promise. This sword's just too cool. I have to use it this time."
Okay. But yeah, I sent you its final ability. Should you choose to use it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all make your way back to the stable. Star and the other 4 elves are there. Bauble is with you. Yeah, you make your way with Bauble back to the stable and inn with the sword at your side. And Bauble's like, I told you guys. It's like so pleased with herself. And Comet sort of stands behind the big wall of crystalline ice again and says, "Huh. You were right."
Comet, are you? I'm just guessing by your like your resting voice. Are you maybe like a tenor or a baritone?
Oh, I've never thought about it before.
Okay. We'll have you go low. I think yes. All
Question,
right. So the tenors are
Question-
over here.
question.
And yes.
Can I freestyle rap if possible? Can I beatbox or freestyle rap if needed?
I mean that might help keep everyone on beat. So sure.
Okay. Just wanted to, because I know you couldn't find my range, so you didn't say, so I was just wondering if that was more of a.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay,
okay. You
got it.
can drop our beat, and then the tenors here and the altos. I'm more of like a mezzo soprano, so I'll stand here and.
I really wish this is pretty much the one time that I wish that we were all at a table
I
together
know.
so we could actually sing in
Truly
harmony and not
incredible.
have it be an absolute disaster. Because I just want to sing a Christmas carol while we're murdering this lady.
Oh, Carol of the Bells, because it's kind of scary.
I was literally just thinking,
Yeah.
In
just get me.
in
Brain cell passing
the
around.
one shot that I ripped some of this off from, that's literally the song that it says you should play at the table during the battle. You guys
love
are
you
on some
guys.
like next level shit today. Okay.
We are so in sync with this
So
one
you try
shot.
to free.
We really are.
It's truly incredible.
Yeah, Law just takes the sword and sees if they can just cleave through the ice,
Okay. As
anime style.
as
Just
everybody harmonizes with the Harmonite blade, that is why it's called that. Law, you with two hands cleave the ice wall in twain, and it starts to crack and melt away. And then you also see this like a little bit of this glow almost like lift off of Comet. And he stands up a little bit straighter and sort of shakes the water off of his like head and neck and walks out of the stall.
Nice to formally meet you, Comet.
He
Hello, Comet.
sort of bows his big reindeer head.
Hi. Can I
Yes,
ask
ma'am.
you a couple of questions? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you classify yourself as a normal reindeer, or will you say you are a different type of reindeer?
I would say I'm a different type of reindeer.
Different type of reindeer. Okay. What is your favorite food?
Oh. I don't know.
Don't know.
You can pass. If you could describe your perfect date, what would it be?
Oh, that too.
He starts to laugh a little bit, and then kind of looks down towards Star, who nods. And then he says, "If we're going to make it to the castle before the night passes, we should."
Right, we can walk and talk.
We
Walk
should
and talk.
Yeah, we can. Put some away.
So it would be several days away on foot. Like I said, I can get you there. And Comet walks out of the stable and sort of out into the snow, kind of shakes the rest of the water off of him from the ice, and then kind of looks at all of you. Come on.
all right. Are we all climbing on your back? I don't know if we're all going to fit.
Oh, don't worry.
Well, okay.
So we should climb on your back. Again, I don't want to do that without like express consent.
Yes, please.
Oh, all right, okay.
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 Sereia's already clambered up. She's just excited.
Hops up onto the back.
Dutch, I don't know what to do with you, buddy.
Just have him hold on tight. And kind of puts his head over towards Dutch.
Two little arms, like, extend out from the ball.
Just a little flip up. Yeah, it's just a little ball in the.
Everybody climbs on.
Yep.
Dutch sort of holds Comet around the neck.
Giselle jumps in back and puts arms
Is this
around
like,
Sereia like
just for
this.
scale, is this like giant elk-sized reindeer? Oh boy.
He's
Okay,
very
so
big.
Miyazaki sized.
He's
Okay.
very big.
Sereia's
Love
just
it.
like holding onto his neck. She's just so excited.
I'm also excited. As you all squeeze on to Comet's back, he sort of cocks his head over toward Star, nods, "I'll be back." And then takes a few steps backwards, sort of shakes his head one more time, and
If
then
we don't see you, thank you for your help.
they just sort of nod to you and smile a little bit, even though they're a little dour. He bolts forward, running extremely quickly. And then as he reaches sort of the top of a hill, takes one enormous leap. And as Comet reaches what should be the peak of his jump, he continues to rise and rise and rise. And as you all fly up towards the blizzard above you, there is a loud crack. And underneath you, where Comet was before, is no longer a reindeer, but a massive silver dragon. And as he whoops with excitement, the Winter Queen's curse broken, he begins to fly you towards the castle.
Law is like living this, holding up the sword with one hand.
And he calls back.
Yell it. You know you want to. Say it.
Hi ho, Silver.
I was thinking you were gonna yell Falcor, but no, that's even
No.
better. So
A very deep laugh from the throat of Comet,
Like,
who's definitely a different kind of reindeer.
Damian's eyes widen and he like just starts speaking in straight up Draconic. Oh my gosh, you were a dragon the whole time? That's so cool. Wait, you were under a curse? Wait, he starts like he's like speaking in Draconic to this dragon, and he's like writing down everything that he's saying to them and all these bajillion and one questions, like rapid fire.
maybe hold on to Damien.
Like he's like the
Damien-
first dragon he's
Damien's
ever
no
met.
hands now.
And he looks like he's about to slide off. Oh, maybe if you can tell me, like, and he like looks like he's about to fall off. completely.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And maybe you can, like, I don't know, you can tell me what your favorite foods are. Do you
You're distracting
do you
the driver.
right. Oh, right. Sorry. You can talk. Maybe we can talk later. Yeah, we can talk later. This is so cool.
Sereia in Draconic is kind of like turns to David and is like,
I'm glad somebody else is excited about dragons as I am.
Yeah, I really like dragons. My teacher was a dragon. He was pretty cool. But yeah, oh man, this is so great. It's like I didn't think I would get to fly it right on a dragon. I didn't think this would. I thought it was going to happen much later in my life, or not in my life, or anything.
Well, turns to Sereia and Kaladeshi. Well, since we're all speaking our secret languages now, how are you? How are things with Quindelius?
we should pretend. So in a second after I stop talking, we should laugh really hard.
Laugh
like we
a
said
lot.
something funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. You ready?
All right.
1,
Yes, I'm
2,
ready.
3.
You guys, I've been around you long enough to know when you're counting 1, 2, 3 in Kaladeshi.
Shit.
Damn it.
That's right. I taught you 1 through 10, and now the other shit.
Y'all are so petty sometimes.
That's why
having
we
a
love
great
this
time.
group.
That's awesome.
Also, again, Val, I was literally about to say the exact same fucking thing.
Really?
Get out of my brain right now. Oh my god.
when the whole party and the DM are all on the
Sid,
same
we have
page.
another
Hell yeah.
game today after this.
I know.
Dude, Ward 47 is gonna be fucking
Lit.
lit.
Bananas.
Who knew we needed Dungeons and Dragons as a warm-up? Okay, so you soar through the air. The higher Comet goes, obviously, the more you get into this blizzard that is forming, but you speed toward the ice crystal castle in the distance. I need somebody to make a perception check.
I'll do it because I'm really good at perception.
Not me.
My passive
really good.
perception is a 15.
Okay.
My
That's
passive is a 17.
Law notices
My-
there's a castle ahead.
My passive investigation
Sereia
now.
also sees the castle.
My passive investigation now is a 20. by
Yeah,
the
your
way.
investigation's high.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got a 20.
Okay. As you are zooming on the back of a silver dragon, not a big deal. I just can't read the book from down there. Damian, you look up from your notebook. Dropping shit. You look up from your notebook as you're getting closer and closer to this this castle that has appeared on the horizon. And you see something in the sky in the distance, sort of coming towards you from the castle. At first, it looks like sort of like a purpley blue like glint in the sky. But as it gets closer and closer, very quickly, you see another dragon. This one, a sort of light, like periwinkle blue, and what looks to be made completely of crystal. It flies toward you, gets closer and closer, as it starts to beeline for the four of you and Comet. You hear this loud roar as a glow starts to form in its chest, and it doesn't look friendly.
Uh-oh. Guys. There's a dragon out there and it's about to breathe something at us. We better prepare for dodging or evasive maneuvers or whatever a dragon does right now.
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, barrel roll!
I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. As a crystal dragon exhales a
Is
large...
this an area effect or is this an
Yeah,
this is
that's-
an area effect?
yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
an area
Yeah, it's a
effect?
cone.
I don't.
Okay.
As it
Okay,
exhales
that
a
is
large,
20.
radiant blast.
But is this a magical effect?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
20 succeeds, 18 succeeds.
Natural 20, 20.
I got a
That
20.
succeeds.
17?
That meets. So it just succeeds.
Ooh.
All right. So,
Dutch.
Oh, Dutch, yeah.
11.
That fails. So this blast of radiant energy hits you and Comet as he tries to barrel roll out of the way. Dice roller. So Dutch, who failed, is going to take 45 radiant damage
Oof, duh.
as he takes the
I-
brunt of the hit. Everybody else is gonna take 22.
I take nothing because I have evasion.
God
Hell yeah.
damn it. I can't wait till I get fucking evasion.
Evasion's so good.
So good.
So I am not gonna roll initiative. We're just gonna kind of play this fast and loose and essentially do you guys and then the other dragon. But boy, this dragon is coming for you. Comet sort of flaps his wings harder and starts to zoom sort of towards the castle, trying to evade this dragon as much as he can, but it is chasing you. What do you guys do?
All right, time for a vote. Do I try to charm monster again?
Please.
I say do it.
You go first, and if that
Try
fails,
it.
then we'll roll.
All right.
Try it.
This one seems like it's fighting us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna get
Definitely has
advantage,
advantage.
but
Yeah.
worth a shot.
It's worth a shot. Well, you never know.
This is
Never know.
a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. 15 is the number that I would like you to roll below.
How's a 22 do ya?
Damn it.
Oof.
Well,
Oof, duh.
No, the spell fizzles and bounces off the dragon's magical being.
I'm not very charming today, guys. I'm too excited about lighting things on fire.
It's
All
the
right,
thought
so
that
we're
counts.
doing this.
And we're doing this. Fight the dragon.
Okay, we're fighting the dragon. Okay, fighting a dragon. Let's fight a dragon.
In the air.
Right, in the air. You know, that's where you fight dragons.
Unless somebody else wants to go first, I can go ahead and make some attacks against it.
Do it. Fucking
All right.
do it. Oh, sing! Everybody sing!
Oh no, not using the sword. I can't use the sword
shit.
from here.
Oh,
It's too far away.
No, you're right. Never mind.
Everybody sing!
No, law actually says.
music.
I made the assumptions. I guess that was wrong. And reaches to their side and pulls out a device that sort of unfolds, and it's a long cylinder with a handle on one end. As Law draws judgment, and aims it at the dragon, and it glows with arcane energy as crystals and diodes light up at the sides, and it's gonna fire.
So this is why you were up till 2 a.m.
Yep. It looks a lot like the pyro converger that's been converted into something new. So I'm gonna make my 2 shots at the dragon.
Okay.
First one's a 24
Yep.
for 20 force damage.
Okay.
Second one's a 25
Yeah.
for 10 force damage.
Yeah.
Really bad on that one.
Okay. Yeah, as Law lets out these 2 force blasts from Judgment that impact the side of this crystal dragon. You can see like a chunk of crystal like split, separate, and sort of like fall, plummeting to the ground.
Those were 2 of my 6 shots.
Okay.
right.
Giselle and Damian.
Damian stands up to his feet and like wobbles a bit, trying to maintain his balance. Like, up, okay, let's go fight that dragon. And he falls off the back of this dragon that we're on, and you just see him go, just plummet down into the sky. And then you see, like, in the clouds, you see a burst of like red as you see like this red trail shoot up out of the cloud, and all you see is just this red stream. What looks like probably is Damian's scarf as he is flying through the air, wrapped up in like fiery energy, as he just streaks right at the dragon as I use Step of the Wind and activate Unfurled Wings.
Damian, you streak toward the dragon.
And I just go to punch the crap out of its face.
Okay, yeah, roll an attack.
Okay. That is an unarmed strike. That is a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. And what he does is, as he goes to punch it right in the face, you see like looks like just like energy is around his fist, but then the color of the energy transforms as crackling energy just trails down his fist, and you see lightning appear around his fist as he slams it right into the face of his dragon, dealing lightning damage.
Okay.
That deals what is it again? 26. That's 7 points of lightning damage.
Okay. As Damian streaks through the air towards this dragon and lets out a big punch, cracking into the side of the dragon's head.
I'm gonna go for it and does it again. For another punch. That's a crit.
Okay, that'll hit. Yeah, roll your damage.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, as you strike the dragon a second time.
And that's all I'm doing.
Giselle?
Okay, question. I know that Law had to take back my really nifty magical crossbow, but in the meantime, can we just say that I maybe purchased some +1 like crossbow bolts?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. And so I do have an ally in melee combat with the dragon, which means
Yep.
I can. Okay, great. So let's say I take a shot. I shoot at the dragon. Guys,
Don't tell me.
guys,
Don't tell me.
guys.
Is it a natural 20 or a natural 1? I don't know.
It's a natural
That's
20.
funny.
It's gonna
on
be
the
one of the
purple
two.
die
Are those
again. It's
Are
on
those-
the purple dice again. Wally gave me a weighted dice, guys. I think this is what just happened.
Or there are only 20s and 1s on that die.
No, it was rolling ones all of last game.
It was,
Yeah, I
yeah.
It was, yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. So that is going to be a D8 and 3D6, I think, at this point. For sneak attack. 3D6, yes.
Can I say that Dutch, since Dutch didn't do anything else, starts to repair themselves on their turn? Okay.
So that's 13 plus 3 plus 1. Okay, so 13 times 2 is 26 plus 4 is 30 points of magical piercy damage.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, as the bolt sinks into the side of the dragon, it lets out this loud, sort of roaring cry. And as it zooms toward you all, Comet.
Can I do a bonus action?
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna spend some sorcery points to do a quickened bane.
Okay.
So the dragon needs to make a DC 18 charisma saving throw.
$24.
Shit. All right. He was with the shot.
Now, Bane fizzles. And as Comet sort of dives down, you can see him sort of heading for this mountain pass, and he kind of squeezes through the crystal dragon following behind. But the loud cries from the dragon, both dragons, set loose an avalanche of snow within this mountain pass that you're now flying between. So I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. Oofa doofa.
Boy, I wish we had Willoughby here.
Ooh, yes.
No.
That is
Miss my
25
bonus.
for me.
Okay, that's a success.
So nat 1.
That's a
Yeah,
fail.
purple just rolled. So purple did roll something other than a 20 or 1. It rolled an 8. Oh no, but I get. You said it's a magical effect, so I can.
No, this is an avalanche.
Yeah.
Never
A
mind.
magical avalanche.
A
Magical
magical
avalanche.
avalanche.
Just an avalanche.
I can give my flash of genius to one person, but I want to give it to somebody that might actually help. What did you get,
Yeah,
Giselle?
I'm not. I only got an 11, so I think that I don't know if that.
I could bring it up to a 16.
That's a gamble. That's a gamble. I say go for it.
I'm
What
going to
about
give it to
you?
Giselle for the 16. Because, Sereia, you rolled a 1, so I imagine you're very low. Okay.
Yeah.
I could give it
A
to...
whopping 3, so.
Yeah, and as much as I love Dutch, I can rebuild Dutch. So I
Can
can't
rebuild
rebuild
him.
Giselle. So, yeah. Or could I? No. So I give +5 to Giselle. And,
Giselle comes back as a warforged. Yes.
Law got a 20, and Dutch got a 13.
Okay. What did Damian get?
25.
Okay, Giselle's got a 16.
Ye.
Okay. The DC was 16. So, those of
Internet
you,
high five, Val. Yes.
those of you that succeeded, you managed to get out of the way. Sereia and Dutch are gonna take 10 bludgeoning damage, and then 8 cold damage as they're pelted with ice and rock.
I'm so glad I healed Dutch in the last turn, because Dutch would be dead if I had.
Okay, but you make it through this mountain pass, coming out the other side, the crystal dragon, following. Damian, you're in there somewhere.
I'm like in between the two. Like,
Ugh.
I think it's like definitely what he did was he landed the punches and then he did that thing where it's definitely like a God of War kind of quick time event that after he landed the punches, he grabbed onto the back of this dragon and is just being flung around as all of this other stuff is happening. And as they're flying between like the mountain ranges, and he's just grabbing on for dear life. But he's like, "This is great!" You know.
Damien's having the time of his life. Yeah, so you make it out of the pass and you fly closer and closer to the castle, where there is just a huge snowstorm swirling, and Comet kind of calls back to all of you, "Hold on tight," as he pierces the edge of the snowstorm, and you fly into it.
I can't hold on any tighter.
I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm good at these.
I'm terrible at that.
Oh, that was
Oh,
better.
nice.
It's a 17.
Is
Okay.
the storm magical?
Technically, yes.
I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it. Okay?
Dutch, my dude.
I got a 7.
Better. 20.
20. Dutch got an 11.
Okay, who rolled below a 16? Damian and Dutch. Okay, I don't know how much this affects Dutch, but Damian, you're sort of flung by. I'm gonna put you back on Comet's back.
Yes.
You were sort of flung by the blizzard forward a little bit, and you grab on to Comet's back, to sort of Comet's tail, and as you start to climb up, you are just pelted with snow. You, for the next minute, have snow blindness,
Oh no.
so you cannot see.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But that's where my punchings come from.
I imagine the crystals that form Dutch's eyes like frost over, and just the windshield wipers are working furiously
Yeah.
to try to clean
Dutch
them off.
also cannot see right now, and the crystal dragon also sort of pierces through the edge of the storm, trying to catch up to all of you. What do you want to do? You're getting really close to the castle now.
I'm gonna shoot it 2 more times.
Okay.
That's- 17,
That hits.
12 force damage,
Okay.
26.
Yep.
14 force damage.
Yep.
How bad? How's everyone's health looking?
I'm good.
Soraya?
33 of 73, but I can take care of
Soraya's
that
doing pretty
myself if I need to. Soraya's
If
taking
I
a lot
had
of
to
hits.
put a number to it, I'm at 28 of 58.
Okay. I'm gonna do my arcane jolt to give I guess Giselle some healing.
Thank you.
That's 9.
Thank
to
you,
you.
Nomos.
And then bonus action, Dutch will try to keep themselves in one piece. And that's my turn. Dutch is furiously little like arms coming out with like little welding torches and stuff on like turns like
Soldering.
tightening bolt. Yeah.
I love it. What do the rest of you do?
So I'm pretty much blinded right now. Like, so is it like that I will pretty much attack at disadvantage
Yes.
if I try to punch him? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna run over along Comet's back to try and get up close to the dragon and punch it in his face, but I guess at disadvantage then.
Yep.
Okay. So first attack.
Damian sort of like hanging off of Comet's tail, like swinging wildly at another dragon.
Cinematically, it looks really cool.
Oh, it looks
yeah.
fantastic cinematically. It
Whoa,
100% looks fantastic cinematically. Okay, so at disadvantage, that's a 22 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, so I deal 6 points of bludgeoning magic damage,
Okay.
and after I punch it, I'm going to use a key point. And as I punch it, I'm like squinting a bit, trying to like really focus on what I'm seeing. And I'm like, okay, there, and I slam my fist right into a specific point on the dragon's neck as I'm doing stunning strike.
Okay. Make a saving throw.
So it needs to make a con save.
$23.
Oh, it makes it. Oh, then I'm gonna go for my second attack.
Okay. Still a disadvantage.
Even at disadvantage, does a 20 hit? That's a dirty 20.
Yep.
I'm gonna punch it, and I'm gonna use a keep. So let me just do my damage first. That's 6 points of magical bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna activate Flurry of Blows, so I do 2 more punches.
Get that dragon.
Punch it again. So that is, does an 18 hit?
Yes.
And the second one is, that one last one's probably gonna miss. Is it an 11 hit?
No.
Okay. So that I do another 8 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay. As a large crack forms in the on the side of this dragon's face and head, you can see this sort of that glow from before, almost like it's spilling out of the cracks a little bit.
And then I'm still holding on to, after I punch it a bunch of times as I'm being flung around on the comet's tail, I am going
Stay within melee range, please.
Okay, I'll stay in melee range. Yeah, I'm staying in melee range. I'm just holding on for dear life on a comet's tail. Because okay, I won't move. I'm just holding there.
Okay, who hasn't done something? Giselle? Sereia?
I mean, since I have an ally within melee range, thank you for staying there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll shoot it again. Why not?
Okay.
Let's see, 15 plus 23.
Yep.
All right. Sneak attack. Oh, not bad. It's 2 plus 3 is 9. 13 plus 4 is 17 points of magic piercing damage.
Okay. As another bolt sinks into one of these cracks and this bluish purple light continues to spill out. Anything else?
You got anything, Sereia?
Oh, I have things. But they're always dangerous because all my friends love to be within.
Do it. You do it. Just do it. I'll be fine. Don't worry. He's holding onto the dragon's tail.
Before I make my decision, my question is there lightning in this snowstorm?
Sure, why not?
Oh, all right.
Big
Love
magic,
that.
big
That's
magic
metal.
storm.
Yeah.
Snowmageddon.
It's cool as hell.
So Sereia is going to call lightning
Yeah.
at the dragon. Which, because there's lightning in the storm that we're flying through, there's an extra 1d10.
Mhm.
Wait, I'm not concentrating on anything, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, I just want to make sure before
I just had such a flashback to the days of you playing a Tempest Cleric fan, and every time, what's the weather?
Is it lightning?
What's the weather?
Is that
What's
lightning?
the weather?
It's it's a whole extra D10 of damage.
Seriously,
You want
that's a
that- you
lot of
want that.
damage.
Yeah.
So she needs to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. Ooh. That's only a 14.
Moose. So it is going to take. There's the first. That's 23 plus. Come here, extra d10. 4. So 20. What was the first number? Hold on. Hello. What did I say? 24 plus 4?
23.
Where are you?
23 plus 4.
23 plus 4. All right, 27
Okay.
lightning damage.
And as Sereia sort of reaches up, the clouds start to swirl in a slightly different direction overhead. You grab onto a bolt of lightning and sort of bring it down, and as it cracks into the back of this dragon, it goes spiraling towards the ground and out of sight.
Sorry, I tried to make you our friend, and you didn't wanna.
Good shot.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, baby!
And you fly the rest of the way toward the castle. The castle and everything around it, once you break through the other side of this blizzard, is very still, except for on the roof. On the highest floor of the palace, there's sort of this like flat, large rooftop in between a lot of the crystal spires. And from up there, you start to hear a waltz. As at the top of this castle, there is almost what looks like a gala in full swing. The sort of bouncing tones of the waltz kind of echo across, as at the top of this castle, it looks like an open ballroom. There are pipers and drummers and musicians that seem to be made completely of ice, playing this music out across the ballroom. And you see many pairs of ice-covered people, humanoids, dancing. And among them, twirling between partners, is the Winter Queen.
Looks like a real swinging party up here.
I feel underdressed.
I do too. Feel like I should maybe have a top hat or something.
Giselle
I always
reaches
feel
into
overdressed, even when it's cold.
Giselle pulls into her bag and just starts putting on all of her expensive-looking rings.
Oh, wait. Law twists like a small little band that they have on their horn, and there's a shimmering field, and then Law uses disguise self from their hat of disguise to have a fancy suit on.
Okay. Comet sort
Shit.
of, as you're circling the castle, sort of cocks his head back. So what's the plan?
I think we're going to crash this party.
Right, so what are we going to do? Are we just going to drop down there and start punching things, or do we talk our way out? Because I don't know about you guys, I am ready to deliver some good old fist justice with Punchy McGee and Fisty O'Flanagan.
That seems to be the plan.
Fish.
Maybe we could try and talk to her first.
Okay, don't worry, boys. We'll talk to her soon. Puts his fist down.
Yeah, let's just drop down into the middle of the party and see if we can reason with this lady.
So I guess Comet standby.
He sort of nods, sort of swoops down, and drops you off on the dance floor. Sort of flies off back into the storm a little bit. The Winter Queen sees your approach and sort of walks off the dance floor, kind of politely clapping. What an entrance.
Greetings,
Good
Your
for those.
Majesty.
You made it.
Yes, indeed we did. And I would like to use my background feature of Feywild Connection. My mannerisms and knowledge of Fey customs are recognized by natives of the Feywild who see you as one of their own. So I'm trying my best to really mimic the Winter Court customs so that, you know, we don't come off super aggro as first, so that maybe Giselle and Sereia could talk their way out of it. So he's
Okay.
trying to like pretty much keep it into a very chill, informal atmosphere.
Okay.
Your Majesty, we are here to discuss things with you. We understand that you're currently have placed your court in this area of the land, but as you know, and we would never want to overstep the boundaries of your Majesty. However, and all of her actions to maintain her court's beauty and lovely and grace. However, there are many people within the land who are currently falling under the pressure of such weather. And I understand to have a wonderful court, you need subjects. If you freeze all of these wonderful people, there will be no people to give you the reverence and joy you deserve, Your Majesty.
She kind of looks you up and down, and then kind of turns back and looks to the dance floor at all of the frozen people that are still dancing a waltz, and then just kind of looks back at you. I don't know. I think I'm doing all right.
Well, Your Majesty, I had a bit of an idea if you are amenable to hearing it.
Oh, fine. I'm just getting bored anyway. Go on.
Okay. Well, about a week ago, my friends and I were in this place called the Badlands, which is like just this desert full of nothing. And there's like an old fortress there. There's a built-in moat and all of these things that would be much prettier covered in ice and snow. And there's really not much as far as, sights and beauty that direction. And I was thinking that in that area south of here would be a very wonderful location for a majestic castle such as this.
Right now, it's not looking so great, but the bones are there, So just a big redecoration, some renovation. I think you're up to the task.
And what am I to do with a land that has no subjects in it?
Well,
you just said you had all these frozen people already.
and aren't subjects that are willing to serve better than ones that are forced to serve? Forced loyalty isn't real loyalty. Now, if you're a beautiful and reverent queen who bestows grace and wealth upon subjects, then I'm sure there will be plenty willing to follow you. Plus, with a place as magical as Strixhaven nearby, I'm sure you'll have plenty of people who are willing to be a part of your court.
I'm gonna need a persuasion check from somebody.
I knew that was coming.
Can
Don't
I
fail me.
give her advantage?
Yeah, with advantage, because of the help and because of Damian's sort of very well done faith posturing.
That's an 18.
She thinks for a long moment. I suppose I could take a look. But it would become permanently part of my domain.
And you promise to not expand your domain to the campus?
I suppose.
And release your hold on everyone that you froze here, including the one that you took with you.
But he's having so much fun.
We see him dancing in the frozen people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Kind of turns back to the others like, y'all, I don't feel good about this. She's not a nice person. I don't really want to be negotiating with her.
I don't think she's really open for any kind of negotiation that can help us out. Guys, I think we should bring out the two best negotiators out there.
Wait, hold on 1 second for Fisty and Punch, okay?
Okay.
Look, I hate to say this, but we do have to play some hardball here. We need you to release our friend, and after you have your big party here and you move in over in the Badlands, we can, do some regular negotiations about, where things are set up, and we'll get like the people that are in charge of the school involved too. We're just sort of
Also,
emissaries
a
right now.
wonderful party planner. I'm sure we could throw you a wonderful coronation ceremony that is befitting of, a station such as yours.
I do like the sound of that.
And I know some pretty important people at the school too. I mean, I could probably ask around. They could help. Give you like a nice little official holiday, where you come and visit for a day and we are like, yay, she's here, what's up? And then we have a party and we could have like cake, a winter cake, and gifts would be given, to honor you, right? And it's kind of like, hey, I'm giving you a gift, but I'm thinking about the Winter Queen and how great she is as I exchange gifts to people.
Let's do another persuasion check.
Oh boy.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Oh good. I got an 8. With advantage.
Okay. She thinks about it. All right. I like the sound of that. A change of scenery might be nice. But I do like your friend very much. What will you trade for him?
Law pulls out the sword and says, "How about your life?"
Well, that's quite dramatic. Is that Harmonite?
Yes.
Give me the sword, and I will let you leave with your friend.
Oh, no, I'm not giving you the sword because then we lose our leverage. I'm pretty flighty. I'm not stupid. No, you give us our friend and I don't stab you with this big sword.
Well, I wasn't sort of beholden to the order of operations of the sentence. I was just trying to make you a deal. Fine.
No.
And she snaps, and the music stops. And everyone freezes in place, except for Cadoris, who sort of awkwardly makes his way over to stand next to her. Go on. Take him. He's not a very good conversationalist anyway.
Well, that's just rude.
And untrue. I've had some very in-depth, wonderful conversations with Cadoris before. Maybe you are not the one that is good at conversations.
I would tread carefully with the attitudes.
What about all the other people here?
They've been here for a very long time.
Willingly?
Some.
Would you be willing to release the ones that are not here willingly?
Again, in this deal, you get to set up shop in a new place. You can, convince people that want to come over, to come into your realm, all that fun stuff.
The sword will buy
Will.
you your friend. A favor will buy you the rest.
What kind of favor?
Who's to say?
Oh, this is a very bad idea. We're letting a very powerful, evil person take up shop next to the campus. I don't think anyone's going to be happy about that. We're just going to end up with another Murgatroyd.
I really kind of agree here. I mean, as much as, using the Badlands as their location, I don't know, I feel like it might bite us in the end, because, look, she's from the Fae. This is a whole thing. She will find a way to double talk her way out of this contract and be all like, oops, surprise, I'm changing the negotiations last minute kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we can ask one of the locals. Comet, how do you feel about all this?
Comet is sort of nearby, but doesn't respond.
And you turned Comet she just turned Comet into an elk for eternity and froze him into a stable.
Yeah, she's
Everyone
kind.
calls her the false queen.
Did she hear you say that?
She's right there.
I know.
Well, we tried negotiations, and Winna would be mad at me for even moderately negotiating with the Fae, so... Should Sereia do something dumb?
We always encourage Sereia to do something dumb.
Is Kadoris is over by us now, not next to her?
He's standing right next to her.
Can Law cast a spell?
Yeah.
Law cast Vortex Warp to
Ooh,
move
yes.
Kadoris
Shit.
out of the way.
Okay.
That's a good spell.
If the target can choose to fail, otherwise has to make a Constitution save.
You will.
Okay. And then I can move him to an unoccupied space that I can see within range. So that's like 90 feet from me.
Okay. So where do you put him?
I'm gonna put him 90 feet behind us.
Okay. So you put Kadoris pretty far behind you.
Pretty far behind us.
Still encased in ice.
Yeah.
Just when I thought we were starting to get on the same page.
Sereia summons her wildfire spirit right behind her.
We don't negotiate with dick bags.
Fine. She raises a hand, and the blizzard overhead starts to swirl more aggressively. And I guess we're gonna roll initiative.
Yes. Everybody sing.
Sereia hits a high
Oh, jeez.
Amy starts-
Sereia, cool it.
Amy starts going,
C.
run away!
Sereia's the
I don't know
full-ass
why.
soprano, man.
Yeah, can we all start to sing before combat?
Yeah.
Oh, hear the bells, hear the bells. Oh, hear the sing. Do you have Carol the Bells on your playlist?
It should be public domain at this point.
I didn't even clock that this might be our Christmas episode.
Yeah, neither did I.
I love it.
Initiative roll was 12 for Sereia.
Mine is 7.
13 for Giselle.
21.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. What's everybody got?
7.
Put Damian on
13.
here.
21 for Law.
Okay. 13. Sereia.
12.
12. just leave.
And I said that I summoned my wildfire spirit, but do you want me to wait until like my actual first
No, you can go ahead and summon
thing for
it.
that? Okay. So it's summoned already, and I mean, I guess she would have needed to make a dex saving throw, but
She will do that
okay.
now. That's a 21.
That makes it.
Okay. And this is probably gonna be quick and dirty. She's gonna go first.
God, this song slaps.
Really
I know,
does.
isn't it awesome? Okay. She reaches up toward the blizzard, and she is gonna use Flash Freeze. The temperature very quickly around all of you plummets. And a lot of the moisture is sucked out of the air. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Is this a magical effect?
Oh yeah,
30-20.
that succeeds.
30-20 also.
That succeeds.
21.
I rolled
Also
the wrong one for Dutch
succeeds.
first. I rolled. I'm gonna flash a genius myself. Turn. I probably won't succeed anyway, but that's a 16. And Dutch got a 24.
Yeah, those succeed.
Sweet.
So everyone is gonna take...
Dutch was also during that entire scene was continuing use their last 2 repair charges to repair them in the background. So
Yeah.
I just want that in the back. Dutch was continuing to like.
doing some
He's a little
repairs.
jackhammer. Oh my god. That's amazing.
Everyone takes half damage, so that's 22 cold damage.
Oh boy.
And so if I have resistance to cold, I take half of that. on
Yes,
top
you'll
of
take
it. Yes.
11.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna absorb elements as a reaction. Oh
Okay.
no, I already used my reaction to do Flash of Genius.
Evasion
you're right.
kicks in for me, and I take 0.
Oh.
Oh wait, no,
no,
that's
it's a
only for
con
dex
save.
saves. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I take half that.
49.
I have a random thing.
Mhm.
I also got absorb elements this time around. If I do absorb elements on top of my resistance, would I have it again?
Mhm.
Dang. Okay. I'm gonna do that then.
Okay. As the heat is sucked out of a lot of you, that is her turn. Law.
Okay, is everybody singing?
Yes.
One way.
all singing
I
Carol
don't know
bells.
why. Doesn't even matter how hard. Because he said he was gonna rap. He said.
Oh,
he
that's
can't
true.
sing. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Okay. So the blade glows blindingly white, and I'm gonna use the blade's special ability.
Okay.
So is that so? It's a +1 magic sword, and then it gets an additional +1 for everyone that sings. So it's another +4.
Yes.
So +5
That is a
total.
+5.
10. So it's gonna be +14.
Jeez.
And I get to roll with advantage.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna just. I don't have a +14. Let's see. Roll D20 plus. Let's save that. First attack is a 23.
Yep.
Okay. And the first time it hits is an automatic crit.
Yep.
All right.
So the ability for everybody is if everyone at the table sings, the blade goes blindingly white, attack rolls have advantage, the first time it hits is an automatic crit, and then it continues that way until combat ends.
Yeah. And I get an extra it's a great sword. I get extra damage die for everyone that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 4 plus 2, so that's 6, so it's 12d6.
Holy.
And it's a crit.
And it's crit too.
Well, that's 12d6 is the
Yeah,
crit.
yeah. That's the crit.
Plus 5, plus 5, so
What's your
10.
strength?
Yeah, plus my intelligence.
Oh, right.
So that's 56 points of damage on the first hit.
What does this look like
Holy shit!
as you cleave through her? She's still alive, but
Yeah. I mean, it's just like this blinding flash. I think like raises up the sword and I think Law actually kicks on their jet boots and goes like goes just like hurtling forward through the air, and then slices straight down on top of her
okay,
with the sword.
huge gash, sort of all the way across her torso, and this like blinding like blue light sort of spills out of her in the place of blood, and ice crystals sort of form across the blade of your sword. Ow.
You should have taken the deal. Goes for another strike.
You guys are the ones that didn't take the deal. What the fuck are you talking
Well,
about?
she's being evil.
Yeah.
28.
Yep.
And this one will be 66 plus 10. 33.
Okay. Another large hit as long as you cleave into her again, and this like blue, like icy light is just radiating off of her at this point.
Oh boy. That feels good, y'all. Okay. That's all Law's got.
As you draw back the sword from her, it's covered in ice crystals. She reaches out and grabs onto your arm. She's going to use a legendary action
Oh no.
to try to flash freeze you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Natural 20, 27.
Okay. So you're going to take half of...
And this time I will use absorb elements because my reaction's back.
Okay. So you'll take half of half.
Mm-hmm.
That's 23 cold damage.
That's half of half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy shit balls.
As the skin around your arm goes completely pale and you just feel the heat being sucked out of your body, and she says, "All right, I'll play your game."
Was it 6 HP? No need to worry.
We've got to kill her. We've got to kill her.
Oh no!
She's bad off.
Yeah, I bet.
Giselle.
Oh fucking shit. Oh fucking shit. Okay. I would like to, well, I guess just shoot her. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go, witch bolt. Cause I think, no, I think my sneak attack might do better at this point. Never mind. I'm gonna shoot her with my crossbow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's 18 plus 8 is a 26.
Yeah,
Nice.
she can't do anything about that. Yeah, the bolt impacts.
Oh, yeah. 10, 14, plus 5 is 19, plus another 4 is 23 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay, yeah, as the bolt impacts and more of this like light spills out of her, Law, she's still got a hold of your arm, and you can just feel this like deep inhale as that one like really hurt.
And I would like to, I will quicken again and use the last of my sorcery points, and I will quicken cast, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I'll quicken cast a witch bolt.
Okay.
Yeah. At second level. That is a 22.
Yep, that'll hit.
So that is 13 points of lightning damage.
Okay. And as the lightning impacts her, Law, you feel her grip on your arm tighten for just a second. And then She doesn't let go, but her grip starts to loosen as in front of you she starts to melt. She's got one last legendary action. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm going down no matter what. That's an 18.
Okay, that succeeds. So we're going to take half.
I think I still have resistance, or is it just against the next attack?
I don't know how it works.
I think it might be through the end of your turn.
Oh, no. It's you have resistance. Oh, no, until the start of my next turn. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Okay,
So you get to half the half.
so you get to half
Mhm.
of half. Okay, that's 20
Yeah, I'm
cold
down.
damage.
Oh no.
And Law drops, and the Winter Queen starts to melt away. And she just kind of turns as she's like melting into the ice of the castle. And she just quietly laughs. And she's gone.
Serai's turn next, right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
Soraya's running to Law.
Soraya, let's
Sereia, they're
all die.
dying! They're dead!
Oh no.
Do I need to do another? Why does this happen every game? A roll
no.
to sprint to Law to spare the dying.
Law, make a death saving throw.
Okay. 11.
Okay, that's a success. No, Sarai, you can make it there in time.
Okay. Thanks. I didn't need that stress. Again.
Not 2 weeks in a
Twice
row.
in 1 week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wally, that one that the purple die rolled was on my freaking death save. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It was terrifying. So Sereia casts Spare the Dying. And Law is stable.
Yep.
Okay.
You can heal them back up.
Okay. I'm just gonna mass cure wounds for all of us. So stand by while I burn a 5th level spell.
Woo!
Ooh.
But we get an extra D8 because of my friendly neighborhood
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
friend.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Wildfighter Spirit.
I know they're so handy.
They're so
Wait,
great.
so it's
They are perfect.
MVP.
Mass cure wounds 3D8. Okay. 18 plus the other D8. Nice. So that is 26. Everybody gets
Woo!
26 points back.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Just
I
in
am-
case.
One away from full. Thank you.
Law like comes back to consciousness and like, oh, did we kill her?
Soraya's just like over them, just like holding onto their shoulders, like, stop dying.
You saved me.
Are you going to join Serai's cult now?
Sereia
You
has a
brought me back
cult?
from the dead.
Oh yes, she does. We can tell you all about it.
And looks
Oh.
over
All
to the
need to
side.
stop dying.
Looks over to the
Looks at her.
side and sadly watches as the sword melts away
And the blade melts
to water.
into water. Can't leave the Winter Realm anyway. And as the blade
Short
melts and the queen melts, so does everything else start to melt. And the castle starts to shake under your feet.
Everybody
fuck.
jump off.
And as the 4 of you and Cadoris and 9 other people,
Wait, how many people can I feather fall?
Shit.
Comet swoops
I can only get
underneath
5.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
and
Oh my
catches
god.
all of you. As you,
Otherwise, I was gonna have to let 4 people die.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh no, it was okay because I also could have done Featherfall and choose 5 creatures, so we were good.
Okay,
We were good.
good. We're covered for
Okay.
10.
Oh.
This comet deposits you safely back outside Bozen Tavern. and transforms back into a big reindeer.
Wow. Thanks, Comet. For helping us.
Of course. It's time for me to go.
You make a mighty battle steed. And she pats his neck.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the first dragon I ever talked to. Well, second.
I hope it was a good experience.
It was. Thank you.
Well, I suppose I will take the elves and we should seek out our master. He's been
Who's
gone for
that?
some time.
Who's your master?
Very powerful archfey.
Oh.
He set out
Oh?
with the rest of the reindeer years ago on some sort of quest. I'm not sure. I was injured at the time, so I did not go along. It's been decades. All he said when he left was, "When midwinter comes, ring the silver bell." We still don't know what it means, but I suppose we'll try to go find him. You'd like him, I think, the toy maker.
Oh, okay. Well, if you meet this toy maker, tell him I said hi.
And we'd love to meet him sometime.
Yeah.
But not, you know what? Kind of had enough face stuff for a long time, so we'll just we'll wait.
We should really cool it on the face stuff, you know.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we'll be off.
Good luck
We will
finding
never
him.
forget you.
Bye.
And the elves emerge from the frozen wood and hitch their sleigh to Comet. And he takes off, pulling them behind him. After gaining some altitude, transforms back into his dragon form. He bats his wings, sends the snowbanks adrift, and he takes to the sky. So magic and swift, but you hear him exclaim, ere he flies out of sight, "Happy midwinter to all, and to all a good night."
Puts an arm around their friends and says, "Sereia, bless us, everyone."
And that is the end of the one-shot, The Winter Queen's Waltz. Or Once Upon a Winter's Eve. I gotta give credit to the person who wrote a lot of the stuff that I ripped off. Their name is Arian Balu, and they wrote some really fucking badass winter shit. And thanks. You can buy a lot of this stuff, including the Harmonite Blade and stuff, on DM's Guild.
Boy, that blade packed a punch. Got a short lifespan, but that
Holy
was
Hey, howdy.
awesome.
For reals.
So yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing today. We came up real close on end time, so it worked
Woo!
out.
Did it?
That was great.
That was
That
fun.
was
That was so
amazing.
fun.
Yeah.
That was probably the best holiday one shot I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of.
I thought it was fun, and there's if you're into it, they wrote some other stuff too as well. So go buy it. It's like $4 on DM's Guild, and there's a lot of fun winter shit in there. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
Something tells me we might see some of them again.
Maybe.
Once Upon a Winter's Eve. You can get it on DM's Guild. So yeah, that's that. We very, very closely reached the end of our time. Does anybody have anything they want to plug before we go away?
Join us later today
Yeah,
for questions.
Yeah.
do it. That'll be at 5:00
Come-
Eastern time. Here
Come
on the
watch-
Sereia channel.
My one shot on the Bard's Playhouse
Tomorrow, yeah?
tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern.
Tomorrow at 12:00 Eastern. Go to twitch.tv/TheBards Playhouse, all one word. And watch some Vampire the Masquerade with Sid. We will not be back next week because some of us will be out of town. And then for the couple weeks after that, we're just going to have to sort of play it by ear because it's winter holidays for a lot of us. But in the meantime, we'll see you all very soon, and keep an eye on our Discord and our announcement channel and on social media, and we'll let you know when we're gonna go live. Anything else?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for playing this morning, everybody. We will be back as soon as we can be. But until then, good game. If we don't see you, Merry Christmas. And Candle Nights and Hanukkah and all the ones that are happening. And I can't really say good night.
Good morning!
We'll see you soon, Internet.